Oregon State Fire Marshal has invested almost $700,000 in Curry County since 2023, specifically for wildfire resiliency. And that's come up in a couple different ways. We helped fund the Community Wildfire Protection Plan and the development of that and hiring a contractor. We invested in the Emergency Management Office at the county by offering funding for an emergency preparedness booklet that was printed in collaboration with Coos County, a defensible space assessment program, and an address and road signage program that will increase the safety for wildfire evacuation. We have a defensible space program, and this is a free opportunity for homeowners to have someone come out and give an assessment on their property. Either the Deputy State Fire Marshal will walk it with you, or someone from a local fire agency if they're enrolled in our program. It's really focused on the home ignition zone and what you can do to increase the survivability of your home during a wildfire. The focus there is about ember intrusion, and when we say that, what we're actually saying is preventing embers from getting in or around your home to create a fire. Embers cause 90% of structure fires during fires. It's not actual direct flames up against buildings. And we focus on the first 5 feet. Defensible space. It's a model code that local jurisdictions can pick up and decide to do, but there's no enforcement from our side now. The defensible space is the assessment. It goes into our app so we know what areas are actually accessing it and doing it. And then the information gets emailed to the homeowner as a reminder, like, here are the things we talked about and here are the things you can do to protect your home. You can Google Oregon Defensible Space Assessment and you'll come to the Oregon State Fire Marshal Defensible Space Program website. You have an opportunity to put in your home address and request an assessment. It'll either be a Deputy State Fire Marshal who comes out to walk your property with you, or a local fire agency if they're enrolled in our program. And what that looks like is we walk your property with you, we inform you and educate you on what the home ignition zone is and what you can do to make your home safer during wildfire and increase the survivability of your home. The Oregon Defensible Space Program is free for all Oregonians. You just request it and we come out, we walk the property with you. There's no code assigned to it and we're not trying to sell you anything. It's truly just tips and tricks on how to make your home safer.
Within Curry County, when we think about gorse particularly, it's kind of centered in 2 main areas. One really around the town of Port Orford, and then there's another area at the north end of the county that kind of comes in from a bigger core infestation in Coos County. And then we actually have a smaller core infestation in Brookings. Our first efforts really were to work outside of those areas and make sure that we're containing spread. If you see yellow in the spring and you think it's gorse, you call us. We will go find it out and we will treat it. Through our experience and learning how to manage this weed, because it is difficult, we've been able to secure larger pots of funding. And that's allowed us to go into some of those core infestations and start working from the margins and work in. And one of those areas that we've worked is the city of Port Orford's drinking water source area to the east of town. It's really a series of parcels that were logged in the 90s, and it has highly erodible soils. And so when those things happened, there were some effects to their drinking water source area, to the point that they had to actually use a secondary source and develop a secondary source for a while. The city has over time purchased those parcels so that they can be in charge of that for us, so they can have a healthy drinking water source area. But there are portions of that area that the plantings failed, so post-logging plantings failed due to gorse infestation. One of the things we've done over the last few years is work with the city of Port Orford. We've created a wildfire risk reduction plan for the drinking water source area to outline how to go about continuing to manage it up there. Another area that we've been working in is basically just over the ridge from that, which is Elk River. That's one of the main core areas. So we know that gorse was brought to the southern Oregon coast by the town founder of Bandon, and he had a friend who lived in Elk River. So that's where our 2 core infestations, have occurred. And so we've been working with the Wild Salmon Center to get funding to help deal with some of the very large infestations in Elk River. And so that's fairly new over the last 5 or so years, and but it's really opened the eyes of the community. That's the other thing about these things, is when you do them in visible places, people go, oh, we can kill it. And who's doing that, and how do we do it? This is a problem. It's a high fire risk. It's also, prevents recreational opportunities, agriculture, timber production, all of these things. It's a real drain on our landscape.
We look at fuel loads probably across the landscape, and especially against our ground, and we see where we have risks with other partnerships that are our partners across, and where we have risks on there, and we probably manage that at a little bit different level in that area because of the fuel loads across the line. We do some thinning, we do some even age management, and we also are working with those partners together, trying to to clean up that other side of the line too. How we manage wildfire risk at South Coast is just by being active on the ground with some of the new innovation within the forest products world, with drones now being able to do stuff, with some of the logging equipment out there, and being able to go out and select certain trees that are sick, dying, diseased, and leaving the healthy forest behind. It's been a really, really positive thing what we've been doing in the future. Being able to work with Oregon State University and the state on these. We have several studies right now going on sudden oak death, like when the oak tree is infected and you cut it down, how long does the spores live on the tree after it's done? And those are some questions that are going to give great science to future management decisions on that thing.